And then I would like to call on Mr. Gbadamosi Oluwadamilola to at least give us a little contribution to what our facilitator has fed us with.
But it's not GREET. So the grit I'm talking about is GRIT. Now, because when it comes to, basically in this part of the country that we are, I've seen people tell me that I'm looking for one tech skill I will just learn in just 2 months and I'll start making money. I'm looking for one tech skill I'll learn in 3 months and I'll start making money. That is I would like to use the word igiyaga. It means that is destruction, right? Tech is not Yahoo, right? I think we need to let people know that, right? The people think tech is Yahoo, but no, it's not Yahoo, right? It's not MMM, it's not CBEX. It's not a Ponzi scheme. Do you understand? I feel like we need to understand that, and that is actually going to help us to know why we even need to even build project when we are learning, right? So one of the things I wrote here, and what great actually means is passion and perseverance for long-term goals, right? You can't expect corn, maize to stay as long when there is heavy breeze. This past few days, the wind has been really heavy. Don't mind me, like for me now, I like when I want to talk, right? You might be seeing that I'm using real life examples, right? I like to do that because I try to find things that you can actually relate with to explain concept to you, so you understand what we're talking about, right? But we noticed that for the past few days, like the wind has really been heavy, right? And you see a lot of houses, even in my own place, the building upstairs, the glass just broke everywhere. I went to one organization, their pole and everything in that organization, everything just bent. Like, does that wind can be so powerful? And I'm like, thank God we are in Nigeria. No wonder when they say you can't understand what tsunami is until you experience it, and it is true. How many of you have seen tsunami before? Right? Don't you only watch it in videos? You can't understand it. Even though you watch it, you can't really understand it. It's just like those in Jos. I tell them, the day that volcano will wake up. Because I know they have dead volcanoes there, right? That's just on the light side. Now, so grit, I wrote here, say passion and perseverance for long-term goals. So you can't expect the strength your coconut tree we have should be the same strength your maize tree we have. And that's why I was talking about those buildings, right? It's at the time of trouble, right? At the time of you presenting how strong you are, what will stand for you is your project. Do you understand? A lot of people will say that I just finished. Okay, just today I was still talking with my folks. Today we're talking about something we want to apply for, and some of them might be thinking that what have we done? What have I done? Maybe I'm still in school. I don't even have any experience. You have experiences. There are experiences that you have. COVID-19, I still tell people, it was not a mistake. It was to make money. That was the end goal. COVID-19. Yeah, it was to make money. And a lot of people made a lot of money. You thought that COVID-19 virus just happened like that. A lot of people. Yeah, money from COVID-19. And those that need to make money themselves, they actually made money. Now I'm going to explain it to you. I remember when I was coming up as a cybersecurity engineer, right? There are times when I would just be like, I need to explore. I need to understand what vulnerability management is. I need to explore my Wi-Fi hacking, ethical hacking. I need to explore about this, and I need to do some pen testing. I need to set trap for people. Then what did I do? What I did was I have one of my router. Now I'm going to tell you this thing. Now I had one of my router with me. Everybody know what router is, right? So I had my router. Some people call it my fire, and I just laugh. So it's a router. So I had one of my router. So I did it was 50 gig sub I did on the router. Then I made it free, meaning I didn't put password on it, right? So anybody that connects to it, anybody that just sees it, we just connect to it ordinarily. And they were browsing for free. They were just like, in their own mind, they were like, Nigerians now, they like IFA. I don't see IFA. But what was I doing? I was monitoring my router with Wireshark. Quite a lot of them, some few of them. Sometimes when I just inject something my router. Sometimes I see some site that some of them are browsing on. Once I notice that the site is an illegal site, or the site does not ask the S with it, meaning it's not a secure site, what I do is that I use my Bob suite to perform an individual attack, change whatever their site they are going to. They might just notice that maybe the network is really slow. The network is not slow. I made it slow. Then I just, maybe they want to go to Facebook, I change the Facebook to another Facebook for them. And when they log into the Facebook, I will see their username and password. Now that's an experience I put in for myself. That's why they tell people, even when you are in airport, when somebody tell you that use this USB to charge your phone is, don't collect that USB. As USB are like, do you know that USBs you put in your phone and it will steal every of your data, right? So all of all these things are, and what am I talking about? Project. So it is not until when you start getting jobs that you have to be collaging your projects together. No, you can create those problems and provide the solutions. That is exactly what is going. That is exactly what is going on in the live right now. You see, there are some problems that you just like. When I tell people also that even when you look at, we've successfully in this country, in this part of the world, segmented. Even I want to talk about this. When they say Boko Haram, they've segmented it to one part of the nation. But I still tell people that the essence of that is to make money. We have issues with our petroleum, issues in Nigeria. People are creating that problem. Do you know why? So we will create the solution. And what are they doing? They will make money. Are you seeing what project is doing? Now I'm not segmenting. I'm not saying that you use the project in good way or bad way right now. I'm just randomly talking about projects. Do you understand? And that's why I spoke about grit. I say grit is what? Passion and what? Perseverance for what? Long-term growth. Now, talking about project itself as a student, there are some key things you need to understand, right? For you to embark on a project. One of the first thing you need to understand is that what your project is going to help you with your foundation, right? It's going to help you with the foundation of what you are learning or what you've learned. It's just today I was still talking about CV. In one sentence, what is CV? A lot of people will say CV is collaging your everything together, this and that. In one sentence, CV or one word is history. CV equals to track record. CV is what have you done in the past? How is that thing you've done in the past going to be relevant to us in this organization? Do you understand? I know most time when we write our CV, everybody's always writing their CVs, putting everything together, just talk about things that they can do or things that they've done. But how is that going to benefit the organization? How will the organization know all of these things? Is from the projects that you've done. So as a front-end developer, right, there are a lot of projects that you can do. As you are even building, as you are learning how to build, work on your project, build e-commerce website, because that is actually like the facilitator spoke about, is actually common. See, everybody has product they want to sell, and there are services that people even want to put out there also. So e-commerce website, nice. Portfolio website, build as much as you can. Even for me, yes, I've worked as a front-end developer before. Right? So I think I still have one of my portfolios still up there. I hosted it with Netlify, and I know I used that. If you check that, I got a lot of job with that. Right? Even when I finally moved back into cybersecurity, because that was actually what I actually wanted to do. Right? The front-end development skill, was it a waste? No, it's not. Because nothing is a waste, right? It's not. I still do it today, but I only do it if there's like, maybe I know that maybe the person that's supposed to do that job is not around and there's no time, then I just put myself to it, right? And how am I able to do all of these things? Because I've worked on several projects. The portfolio that you might see up that if sometimes when people see, that is not the first portfolio I'll build. I've built several portfolios for myself. I'll build several portfolios for people. And even as front-end developers also, even as UI UX developer. Yes, recently, okay, I'm building another website for myself, right? I'm supposed to just start building the website from front-end development. No, I'm using Figma to build my website first, right? To help me with the colors I want to use, help me with the design. Then I move it to Framer. I got in some new things tools I could just use there, and I'm done with that. And once I'm done with that, the front end job, I'm not sure I might be able to do that because I'm not sure I'll have the time. I'll probably give it to one of my friends, just do for me. But I've made the job easier for him. And also, do you know what I've done? I've reserved some money for myself. Do you understand? Right? So there's nothing that is a waste, right? So all of what is you doing project, you getting your project done, it is actually to help you to be able to present yourself well. It is marketing. If you people think that it's just like when people want to come and learn any tech skill, they make mention of some other statements. These things are some of the things I even post on my LinkedIn. I'll still tell you some few things, right? Now, people, there was a time I had one lady come in and say she wants to learn tech, something like, okay, not she was, and it was one guy that was saying something on. He just started cybersecurity course, and we were just talking, and it was like that he just want to do ethical hacking straight up. That he has been reading some things, want to be an ethical hacker. I'm like, okay. And I asked him a question, what is reconnaissance? And I was like, he does know, like, which one? Simple English. Do you know what reconnaissance means? It's what is information gathering. But when you tell people that, some people just believe that I will just see Olamilekon and say, Olamilekon, I will hack your system. Hi. You are not God now. Do you understand? Where is the information gathering? Do you understand? You need to gather your information. Now you might be wondering that I'm talking about cybersecurity, I'm saying information gathering. Even for front-end developers, you need to do information gathering. Even in UI/UX too, you need to do information gathering. You want to build, somebody wants to build a football website. Are you not going to gather information? You gather information, but you have to gather the right information. Do you understand? Right? So all of those things are things that are needed. If you notice that everything in IT itself is interwoven. Do you understand? No field is just left alone like that. Every field is interwoven together, right? So one other thing I want you to I will just list some few things that you need to understand when it comes to you building your confidence with tech. When it comes to the foundational aspect, number one thing is that what you must be security conscious, right? And also, when it comes to project, it is not compulsory that you have to be doing those projects alone. Collaboration is key. Gone are those days where they will tell you that, you remember in schools now, when you know something that your classmate do not know, you be holding to yourself, you don't want anybody to know it. You mark member. And sincerely, that is the reason why a lot of us from that generation are actually missed. The only few of us that are able to gather together again. For me now, I think that was in 2013. 2014. There was a book that changed my life, and I only saw that book in my mom's library. So my parents were both accountants also, so but they have libraries. They read a lot. For me now, I don't like reading. I don't like anything reading. I'm always using that thing. I just like anything technical. Let me say with this. But at a particular point in life, I had sense. I understand that. The white will say something. They always still mentioning that statement today. They'll say, if you want to hide something from a black man, hide it inside the book. Do you know what it means? Yeah. That statement is I don't know. Inside of me right now, sometimes even I say it, like I can feel the tears. They are awful statements. It's because it's just said in English. If it was in Yoruba, you will have know the how deep that word is. But because it's English, now. Permit me to just use an abusive word. I'm not abusing anybody. It's just like you look at somebody and tell the person that you are mad. You understand? You're like, nah. But in Yoruba, you say, "Oti Yahweh." What is sinwi? Now, are you feeling? Can you feel the in depth of it? So because they said it in that way, that word, that thing they said in English. I don't know. Don't let me disgrace myself. I don't know how to say it in Yoruba yet. That is like, to perfect be. Oh my God! Don't worry. If you want to hide, just let me say it in English. Like, if you want to hide the secret of life from a black man, why did they use a black man? It's a constructive statement. You want to hide the secret of life from a black man, put it inside books, meaning we will not read it. Do you understand? So it is not. So we can't neglect the aspect of you reading. Then I now imagine those, growing up, those young girls that read novels. And when they read novels, and I'm always like, they read novels and the way they are always imagining everything. See, it helps your imaginations. And what did I do? Ever since that time, I started reading also. Aside from the technical aspect, I started reading. Now, I knew that I need to work on my reading aspect, right? That I can't read normal text, but I can't read normal stories and stuff. Do you know what I started looking for? When I buy some books, and I know the books are always, let me be like soft cover. You know what I'm going to go? I'll go and find one hardcover text, something that looks like a textbook. Used to cover it so it to look like a textbook. What I'm doing is I was dealing with my mind. Right? So whenever I want to read, so when I even hold the book, so if I have a book that is like this, I might not want to read it. Do you know what I will do? I'll go and find paper, do everything, put it on the cover so it look very thick, like a textbook. So when I open it, what I was doing is just from listening to it. And that same person is the same person that is saying that all sort of mentalities that, are you understanding that it's just a mindset thing? That is why I spoke about grit. The first thing you need to work on is what? On your mindset. And what is that? Discipline. You need to discipline yourself. Because if you don't discipline yourself, you can't. It's not maybe a cause anything. You don't discipline yourself, you just can't achieve that goal. Do you understand? All right. So another thing again is when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to you building project, you don't need to work on the project alone, right? You can collaborate with others. You need to work with others. That's why I mentioned that gone are those days where you say that those in offices. I think I mentioned something about my mom today. I say those in offices, and they were like as long as they will say to me that as long as I got to why did God create you on earth? You still want to be disturbing God? Do you understand? I'm not saying maybe do something evil. I'm going to explain that is that you are doing this thing. You are doing it instead of when your bosses come, or maybe you see people around, you go for conferences and you're like, I don't like talking about things that I've done, so that people will not be thinking that maybe I'm proud or something like that. Why all those people, all the other ones, they will do one small thing, they'll be talking about it, they'll be like, I did this one, I was able to achieve this one, they will get promoted. You still be there, you're like, that God will open do you understand? So when you see there are some projects that you might not be able to do alone, and there are some projects that the truth is that what you might be able to do those projects alone, but it might take you 3 months to complete those projects. But when you work with those projects with other people, it might only take you like maybe 1 month to finish a project. Do you know what you've done? Division of labor. Now when you are talking about that project and you are talking about how you are able to collaborate with people to achieve this particular task and that, do you know what you've done in your CV also? Is what you've put teamwork and collaboration skill. Do you understand? You've done what? Teamwork and what? Collaboration skill. That you've done like that. Right? So another thing again is when you are working on your project, make sure that whatever information you want to pass, right,